A vaccine is a type of medicine that prepares your body to fight against disease. Let me give you a scenario. A serial killer escapes from a maximum security prison. The prison authorities immediately have to spread the word. So on the local news, radio, Twitter, everywhere the message, there's a killer on the loose. He escaped from prison with a weapon. He's extremely armed and dangerous. He's a 6-foot man, weighs approximately 100 kilograms, bald head, full beard, he walks with a limp. If you notice any suspicious fellow, contact the police. Don't let any strange person in your home. Don't give anyone a lift in your car. Posters are everywhere immediately. The law enforcement agencies commence stop and search protocols and create checkpoints at key locations. They even try to trace his steps from his point of escape. Now what happens if at the checkpoint the police notice a strange looking guy and they identify him as the convict? They are armed and they are prepared to act. The vaccine is the first message prison wardens got out that triggered the authorities to set up the countermeasures. Now let me ask you a question. If the news did not get out that there's a serial killer on the loose, how much danger do you think the lives of the people in the community would have been in? And can you really tell who will be most at danger? By getting the warning, everyone knew that they have to be more cautious. Doors locked, gates closed, your defenses are up just in case. That's exactly how vaccines work. Because diseases are on the loose. Lives have been lost. Many have become infected by preventable diseases. In simplified terms, vaccines contain weakened or inactive parts of a particular organism that trigger an immune response within the body so that when the real form of the organism enters the body knows how to fight it. So this weakened or inactive part called the antigen is too weak to cause harm but strong enough to get the body prepared in case the disease comes. Smart, huh? Some vaccines activate a lifelong immunity while some others don't. Now let me tell you a little about the history of vaccines. Vaccines are a relatively old invention. Invented before the wristwatch, before television, before Morse code, before jazz music, before the airplane, before the mechanical computer. Edward Jenner developed the first ever successful vaccine in 1798, and that was the smallpox vaccine. That's one of the greatest inventions in human history. Smallpox was a disease that brought devastation to humanity. Later versions of the smallpox vaccine brought about reduction in deaths caused by smallpox. Smallpox was eventually eradicated in 1980. Smallpox vaccines today are still effective against monkeypox. Let's talk about a long-lasting legacy. Other vaccines were developed over the years. Cholera, typhoid, tetanus, polio, rotavirus, measles, then in more recent years, Ebola vaccine, COVID-19, and the first malaria vaccine was approved in 2021. Countries usually have national vaccination programs that are required for certain ages to protect against some disease. That will be discussed in another video. Vaccines will be responsible for the eradication of many diseases. Smallpox was eradicated from the world thanks to vaccine administration. Other diseases have been eliminated in some countries such as polio, measles, rubella, but these diseases are at risk of resurgence if vaccination turnout reduces. Let me explain the difference between eradication and elimination. Eradication means the disease no longer exists in the world. For example, there hasn't been a single case of smallpox since 1980. Elimination, on the other hand, means that the spread of a disease in a particular region has been stopped. So measures such as vaccines are still in place to ensure that they stay away, and one day there will be a total eradication. Some people's reasons for vaccine hesitancy because they believe that there's a chance to still get infected by the disease. So what's the point? But let me ask you a question. If you don't know how to swim and you put on a life jacket and jump into the deep end of the swimming pool, will you likely float? Yes. But isn't there a risk of drowning regardless? So would you say that the life jacket doesn't work? Vaccines are safe, vaccines work. There are many diseases without a cure at the moment, and some are life-threatening. What we have to defend ourselves against them are vaccines. Examples of such diseases include hepatitis B and COVID-19. Then there are some diseases that are highly preventable with vaccines, but infection from them can leave one permanently disabled. For example, polio can lead to paralysis. Then there are some diseases that we shouldn't even be hearing about anymore. They ought to have been eradicated long ago, but some people decline to take the necessary vaccines and there happens to be a resurgence in these diseases, like the measles outbreak in the United States. From January to December of 2019, CDC reported about 1,274 confirmed individual cases of measles. This is the greatest number of reported cases in the United States since 1992. And majority of those cases were found in the unvaccinated folk. Or we can talk about the polio reemergence in the United States too. First case in over a decade. and the low vaccination rate may be the cause of the resurgence. Then there are some diseases that have cures, but over the years, the medications have become less and less effective. The organisms have become resistant to the medications, and the organisms are becoming resistant faster than how new medications are being produced. For example, malaria and some bacterial infections. So the role of vaccines in modern medicine cannot be overemphasized. This health series is about vaccines, types of vaccines, vaccines relevant to you. I will address many issues concerning vaccines that have come up over the years. Please like the video, share with your loved ones, and I believe you want them to be safe and free from diseases that could be prevented with vaccines. And please subscribe to my channel and watch out for the next episode of Vaccine Doc. Please remember, vaccines are safe, vaccines work, vaccines save lives.
Immune response. And they've been working for centuries, cause an outbreak destroys worse than an enemy. There was once a time smallpox was scourge of humanity. If not for vaccines, by now the earth would be memories. So for every doubt you have concerning the remedy of vaccines, I'm here to serve you the legacy.